I made myself a cup of tea in my new mug, and I figured I'd tell you a story or three about the times I almost got into a fight at a concert. I feel the need to share that I'm not a physically aggressive or violent person at all, but in at least one of these situations I was fully prepared to defend myself if needed. It's not really the type of shit that should be happening at a concert, huh? I've had the misfortune of getting into this kind of situation 3 times now, and I would like to keep it at that. Please, universe, if that's possible. The most tame time this happened was at Set It Off in 2022. I had VIP that day. After the VIP bit and after meet and greet, I'd gone into the concert hall with my best friend who was there with me, and we were just standing waiting for merch to open, because merch opened at 7 and doors also opened at 7. So 7 rolls around. I'm like, you guys, I'm gonna go buy merch. I'll be right back. Save me a spot. Mind you, my best friend stayed there the entire time. And then I went downstairs to where the merch was, and there was already a massive line. There was one person working the merch. It took fucking forever. So I bought myself merch, I bought my best friend merch, and then I also went over to the openers merch table, Withers, to get one of our close friends a birthday gift because he really likes the band. And that also took forever, and then I had to go pee and I had to go stuff our merch into a locker, and then I could go back up to the concert hall. Unfortunately, because the merch was going so slowly, this took me 45 fucking minutes. So by the time I went back into the concert hall, it was getting quite full. And I'm just working my way through people being like, oh, I'm sorry, can I just get past you? Can I just get past you? Sorry, excuse me, no. Being very polite about it. And while also realizing I know I'm being very annoying, and I probably seem like that person that's like, oh, my friends are in the front, but my friend was actually in the front. And everyone's being nice and stepping off to the side for me and letting me through. Almost got to my best friend. And then I woke up to these 2 people who must have been like 15, 16. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, could I just get past you? And I wasn't even like waiting for people to move. I was like, oh, could I get past you, whilst already moving in front of them? The one that was nearest to me physically holds her hand up like this and keeps me from going through, and it's like, no. And I'm like, oh, it's fine, you don't understand, my friend is in the front, I had VIP, I just, I need to get back to my friend. And they're like, no. And I'm like, what do you mean no? My friend is saving my spot, genuinely. I know I seem like a liar, but I'm not. And then I'm like, oh, it's fine, I just went to go buy merch, my friend is really in the front. And at this point I'm like making eye contact with my best friend, being like, she's right there, she's like 2 meters away from us, what are you doing? And they're like, well, then you shouldn't have gone to buy merch and you should have showed up earlier. And I was like, I had VIP. It's not my fault merch took this long. So I'm like standing there being like, okay. So I like genuinely let out a laugh and I was like, okay. And then I just walked behind them instead. I ended up getting back to my spot just fine. And it still makes me laugh, this story. It's so silly. And they did not consider that I could just walk behind them. The last time I almost got into a fight was at 5 Seconds of Summer last year, so in October. At this gig, pretty much the moment we walked into the concert hall, everyone was like, sit down, which is really smart because then you can sit for a bit and you're taking up more space, which is nice and lovely. So this person sat beside me, not even behind me, beside me, who was quite short. At that point, I was already aware of the fact that maybe there is short people behind me that can't really tell how tall I am right now. So I was like, you know what, it'll be fine. If people really can't see, they'll let me know. Oh, I was so wrong. 5 Sauce, come on. And after like a song or two, this person to the left of me just starts bumping into my side so harshly and just like trying to get closer to my side. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're bumping into my side, which that fucking hurts. I had bruises from that. And you're also bumping me into the person off to my right. Like, what are you doing? I stand my ground. And I'm like, if there's a problem, you can use your words and you can tell me. I couldn't fucking move. What did they want me to do? So then at some point, after like a few songs, and like this person keeps bashing into my side, at one point we kind of make eye contact. And this person is like, I can't see. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do? I can't move. And then their friend is like trying to calm them down, and I'm like, you're bumping me into the person next to me. I can't move. What do you want me to do? And this person eventually kind of moved away from me, but I was like, what is going on in your head that if you can't see at a gig, your first decision is to go, oh yeah, let me start bumping in the person next to me so that hopefully I can see better. Mind you, I was also struggling with the person in front of me because this person kept fucking leaning back intensely anytime they were trying to take photos. So I had like a ponytail of hair in my face the entire fucking time as well, and that was frustrating. The first time this happened, which yes, I'm going fully out of order here. This time, the most intense time, happened at Louis Tomlinson in 2022. So yeah, Louis stans are just intense, really fucking intense. And I say that as if I'm not a Louis stan. I'm not really anymore. But even back then, I wasn't like a Louis stan, you know. When we walk into the hall, we end up getting like somewhere around like 8th, 10th row off to the right, which really wasn't that good of a spot. It was fine, I could see everything just fine, but you know, if you've been there since 6 a.m. I started noticing that the person behind me was just like genuinely leaning into me, like with their back to my back, leaning back into me. Because up until that point, I'd been like, we're really all like super close together. Of course, you know, people are going to be up against you. But until that point, I'd just kind of written it off as just like normal concert circumstances. But then I really realized, oh, this person is like trying to move me, because I stand my ground and I'm an asshole. I start leaning back. Again, where do you want me to go? There's no fucking space. What is it with these people? There's always no space. And so the people that I was with, who I met that day, at one point kind of noticed that I was, you know, standing there not looking particularly, you know, amused. I'm having a pushing match with the fucking person behind me. They're like, oh shit. So then we kind of move around among us so that I was no longer up against this person, which was nice. Eventually, we look over to our fucking right and this person started leaning up against one of the other people that we were with. We tell her, like, push back, it's fine, you can use your elbows, you can't move. There's nothing that this person can like get out of this. There's like no space for you to move, no space for them to move. Not happening. This is your spot, stand your ground. And so she does, and before we fucking know it, we hear stuff happening next to us and we look over and this girly that had been pushing up against us had straight up pushed her onto the fucking floor. And we were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I like eventually grab her shoulder and I like lean over into her ear and I'm like, there's no fucking space for you here. Stop doing whatever the fuck it is what you're doing. And at that point I was fully kind of expecting that to escalate. Nothing ended up happening. She ended up leaving us alone. But that got me real fucking pissed. So yeah, that's those times. I'm also a massive fucking liar. This is literally just water.